So I've had a personal experience maneuvering through a health plan for a loved one, trying to get to see the right doctor, making sure to get the best medicine, hoping and praying the insurance company would approve whatever test the doctor was examining or needed. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. And every so often, we would meet someone that would help us. Maybe it was a doctor's receptionist or the nurse that always set the tone of nurturing and being warm, or a seasoned doctor that understood so much about their patients. So when Jimmy was struggling and some people would say dying, we went to many doctors' offices. And I remember this one doctor being so physically aggressive with him, making him do these various body movements that it only created more pain for him. And I was in shock by the doctor's behavior. I actually refused to pay that office visit. I think I called the office, voicing my complaint and letting the office know that the doctor's behavior was off the chart. But other than that, I didn't have anybody to speak to about this. Fortunately, now I have a wonderful practitioner. She is a pro. And when I see her, she's like, "Oh, Stephanie, how are you? Oh, I want to tell you that I saw Jimmy on Tucker. I can't believe it. I told Melissa that he really knows his stuff." Wait till she hears about Jimmy speaking at the UN, all right? So I just know from personal experience that when you're sick, facing different challenges, when maneuvering through the medical insurance system, it can make you sick to your stomach. It seems like it's a maze of various escape room-esque challenges, questions, and if you can figure it out, maybe they might be able to help you. Maybe they'll even cover the cost of necessary services. Maybe they won't be able, but it'll be fun seeing if this works out, before you are fully incapacitated due to your sick. So what if I told you there's a program available that just might advocate for you? You would think I'm bullshitting. No, there is no way there's a program here in California, scary place, that has been created to actually help people. And there is. No kidding. And here it is, ladies. Let me show you. Hold on. Here we go. Stand by.
Have a problem with your health plan? The Department of Managed Healthcare's Help Center can help you.
What?
The DMHC protects your healthcare rights by making sure health plans follow the law.
Are you kidding me?
Medical and legal experts who work for the DMHC Help Center can help you if you have a problem with your health plan.
Yes.
This is a free service to all Californians and is available in all languages.
What?
I just can't get the medicine I need.
I can't get services in my language.
My doctor is no longer with my health plan.
I received a surprise bill.
Like, I can't get an appointment I need?
If you filed a complaint, sometimes called an appeal, with your health plan and they didn't fix the problem in 30 days, the DMHC Help Center can help. You can file a complaint against your health plan.
What?
Or apply for an independent medical review, or IMR. If your problem is urgent, like you're about to be discharged from the hospital but don't think you're ready, or you're having trouble receiving treatment for a life-threatening illness like cancer, don't wait. You can get help from the DMHC Help Center right away. You can apply for an IMR if your plan denies the care you need and says it's not necessary or experimental, or your plan won't pay for emergency care you already received.
Yes.
During an IMR, doctors who are independent or do not work for your health plan will examine your case to see if your health plan appropriately denied services, or if you should receive the requested service or treatment. These doctors may discover that your health plan was wrong to deny you care. If this happens, your health plan must cover the services or treatment you need. An IMR is always free, and the results frequently get patients the care they asked for.
How long does an IMR take?
If your problem is urgent, the case is typically decided within 7 days.
I know, that still seems
If your
long,
problem
but
is not urgent, the case is typically decided within 45 days.
I know this still sounds long,
At the
but
DMHC Help Center, your privacy is safe. We keep your personal and medical information confidential. Submitting a complaint or requesting an IMR is quick and easy.
All right. I just couldn't believe that there was this program available. And I was talking to friends. None of my friends knew this program was available except one. And this woman, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Dana Eagle, bring her up on screen. Bring her up. There she is. Dana Eagle is my guest, has appeared on NBC's Last Comic Standing, The Late Late Show, Comedy Central, and Comics Unleashed, where she became a contributing writer. She got her start in musical theater, but was asked to leave. She was asked to leave. Please welcome Dana Eagle, ladies and gentlemen. Dana Eagle. Thank you, Dana, for being here today. Dana, take me through how you figured out this program.
Well, actually, it's from a few years ago when I was at Kaiser and I was having some issues over at Kaiser. And I don't know if anybody's familiar, but they had an issue with their behavioral health services, which is mental health. And this is before, mental illness was so like in fashion. So
yeah,
I didn't have a lot of people to call or get help from. But Kaiser would do things like I went there, like they didn't diagnose me. When I started with them, I had bipolar. If you're bipolar and clap your hands. Sorry, I can't. So I had initially, but you learn things like there are regulations. So more than a program, this is really like a regulatory agency of the government, and this is where our money is supposed to go to make sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And when I was at Kaiser, they would do things like say to me, well, we could get you therapy, but you're only allowed this many sessions. But you can't do that with mental, like I had a diagnosis. So there's something called a parity law, and you have to treat it on par with a physical illness. Just like you can't say to somebody with cancer, oh, we only cover 2 rounds of chemotherapy. You're not allowed to do that. And wait for the big reveal. But then later on, I got cancer. Yay! So not the fun kind. But when you and I were talking this week, I'm not with Kaiser anymore. No, with Kaiser, with Blue Shield, and I was having some problems with them. And here's the thing: my problem isn't solved yet, but just being on the phone with somebody who goes, "Yeah, that's not okay." Like you describe to them what the issue is. Like back when I had when I was being treated for cancer, I went to a nutritionist, and they had to space out like some of my medications because, I got all these diseases. There's a lot of medicines and like when you have the food and stuff like that. And my health insurance told me that they would only cover the nutritionist if I had diabetes, but I had cancer in my stomach. So when I called DM, they said, no, that's absolutely not okay. They do have to cover this. So they can advise you like that of like, is this a regulation or not? And then this week, I already have a claim that's been denied. And I've just spent a lot of time on the phone. And this week, I spoke to this wonderful woman named Gail, and just having her go like, no, that's not okay. It was almost as good as being on the phone with you, Steph, except for the fact that like she was official.
Right.
And it just felt so validating. And I feel like I want a Gail on the phone for everything. I just want to be validated.
I hear you on that, because when Jimmy was going through his illness that had been misdiagnosed for several years, and it had just the amount of pain and how incapacitated that he was, it was, I felt very much, I felt determined to be his advocate. It was such a maze of, I would actually take a binder. I copied all of his healthcare information. I took a binder with me to every appointment just so they would be informed about everything. And believe it or not, I took it to UCLA, and from handing it to the receptionist to the doctor's office, they lost it. And it was so overwhelming that here I'm trying to advocate for Jimmy and make sure that they have all the information possible to help reach a diagnosis. And it's just, I looked at Jimmy and I knew that there was no way that he could advocate for himself at doctor's appointments. You have to have somebody. And when you told me about this program, I think this is I went on their Twitter feed. They have like something like under like 5,000 people that even know about them in the state of California. State of California is the 5th largest economy in the world. And this program is here to help people in California. And I haven't researched what other states have, but I just started to have this conversation with Dana. We know that healthcare is a crisis in our country. And you just see that, you see how costly it is. You see that healthcare is attached to your employment. And that the whole idea that, once upon a time, Obamacare attached it to your taxes, that you would have to be covered just to blah, 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 blah. So when I see a program like this, somebody was innovative enough to have people available to help you and actually advocate for you. Anything else you want to say about this program, Dana?
Yeah, Gail also told me about this, and I haven't, but there's something called, and for DMHS, that's California because insurance is by state.
Yes.
But there's something called the Health Consumer Alliance.
Right.
And so, because I was saying to her that I can't, and you and I spoke about this, you get on the phone with people and nobody's accountable for the information that they give you. It doesn't matter that I have an Excel spreadsheet being like, well, I spoke to Natasha and Natasha said this. Natasha's nowhere to be found. Natasha's home. And if I could just get out a little rant, like CBS Caremark, which is, I think it's like a PBM. Like, I think the way their customer care works is like they just walk around and they go, hey, do you want to be a customer representative? All you have to do is say, hold on, let me see if I can get someone from my senior team. Like, that's all they do. And then I just sit there on hold, and then maybe they'll say, I spoke with the senior team. But it just goes on forever. And I was telling Gail, like, people give me information and they'll say, this is covered. And then it's not covered. And then it's like 15 more calls to find out, am I covered? What piece of paper am I missing? And so then she gave me this Health Consumer Alliance, and that's 888-804-3536.
Say it again.
888-804-3536. Healthconsumeralliance.org, 888-804-3536. And I just wrote that down on a scrap of paper. So hopefully that's right. Or maybe you're calling Best Buy. I don't know. But look at healthconsumeralliance.org. And yeah.
So going through this. So I know I just wanted to touch base on with Kaiser. Would you just explain what was discovered when they started to investigate Kaiser's practices when it came to appointments with their patients?
Well, here's the thing. And this is the beauty of our healthcare system. Everything that feels like a glitch to us, for them, it's a feature. For them and their shareholders, it's a cost-saving feature. So Kaiser had this problem with behavioral health before. And so the state had started investigating them. And I had my whole story of what I felt was done to me. But the investigator was just like one of those law and order investigators. And so she really didn't care about my story. She, was checking laws and regulations. And one thing she had asked me was, she said, have you had, because for some mental health meds, you have to see a psychiatrist like every 3 months. And so she said, have you had appointments canceled on you, like last minute? And when I thought about it, I was like, I did have. And later on, I read in the paper that actually what Kaiser was doing, because their behavioral health program was falling so short, and they had already been investigated for it, was they were keeping 2 sets of books. So one set of books showed that I had an appointment, but then they would call me that morning and say, your doctor can't see you, we need to reschedule. And I remember thinking that was weird, but I just didn't put together the whole picture. And so I think, what we're very lucky for being in California is that they do have the regulation, and in a lot of other states they don't. And, that's what DMHS does, is they oversee HMOs, I think like some PPOs, which is what I'm on now, and also because we have covered California, which is the subsidized health insurance. And so, everyone's paying for that. So I think, and that's something we all know now too, is that like, it doesn't matter if your insurance company's paying for it. In some way, we're all paying for it. So.
All right. Well, Dana, I really appreciate that you came out today and were able to share your own personal story about this. And I think it was really great that you were able to highlight for me the Department of Managed Healthcare, healthhelp.ca.gov. I mean, I didn't even know about this program. And I hope families are now alerted about this program. And I know if you're not in the state of California, I go online, see what your own state has available. And you know what? Let us know. If you find that your state has a program that's similar to this, let us know. And I would like to help share that information. Anything else before you go, Dana?
Well, I know that the show, your Jimmy's show in general, does a lot of like activism. And like, I used to believe in like Medicare for all. Now I believe in a pedicure for all. But, and then I switched to like, hey, how about we just don't have fraud, because that's what I feel like is constantly. I've spent about over 4 hours on the phone this week just trying to get medication unstuck. And so then I thought, well, how about just no fraud? Like I just keep lowering the bar for our country. And now I'm just like, I just don't want Congress to have healthcare. Like every time I hear that somebody else, I'm like, you shouldn't be able to have what you're not providing for me. If you're not spending 4 hours on the phone with CVS Caremark, it's not okay for you to take money from them and then perpetrate this on me. So
are you thinking about some sort of course of action that you'd like to take regarding Congress?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have health care because they're older, so they get the Medicare. So I guess you can't take that away. But I think it's like, what do they serve? Like 5 years and they get health care for the rest of their life?
It's something like that.
You can't have people legislating for you that they themselves are not subject to the laws that they're making. And so I've sounded really smart when I said that.
I mean, I couldn't believe how smart you sounded for a girl.
I know.
Nice work there, chick.
Thank you.
All right.
So far, it's like the only advancements in healthcare we have is like all the cannabis shops. Like that's it. That's all.
Yeah, and I can't get to all of them. So, well, Dana Eagle, I really appreciate you taking time out today. Hey, where can people see you or check your stuff out?
You could go to DanaEagle.com, DANA, and then Eagle is just like bird, and then .com. And I think it's the same on the Instagram-y.
All right. You're a smart girl for doing that. Okay, Dana, thanks so much, pal. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Adios.
Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show in Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, Levittown, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, and Palmdale, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.